Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, January 22nd. So the moon is going to move out of that earthy energy of Virgo, where we likely tapped into our OCD and our perfectionism, trying to create order in our lives. And we're going to shift into the fluffy air sign of Libra. So this is definitely going to give us a more playful energy to deal with, a more intellectual perspective on some of the changes and transformations that we're currently going through. The moon will lock into Libran energy early evening, 5:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is definitely going to help us balance the scales between our heart and our head, between our physical realm and our emotional realm, between what it is that we're recognizing had to happen in the past in order to prepare us for future events. So there are 9 different aspects taking place here today, and 9 of them involve the moon. The moon, while still in Virgo, is going to sit across from and oppose Neptune, who is in Pisces. Again, we talked about this particular aspect I think it was a couple of days ago, where we were having a hard time really kind of understanding the information coming in from our higher self. We have a lot of intuitional gut reactions right now that don't make sense to us when we apply it to our physical realm and the evidence, the indication, the validations that we're currently getting in our physical reality. The moon in Virgo, again, is very connected to the here and now, very connected to the physical realm. Basically, we are in a mindset and in an emotional state where we're trying to accept things for the way that they are. But of course, Neptune in Pisces wants us to think about everything outside of our physical realm, wants us to think about the spiritual lessons that we're currently going through, the soul contracts that we're committed to, the understanding of the dreams that we're currently receiving, the amount of creativity and inspiration that we're currently channeling, that our egoic self, our logical, practical intellect cannot make sense of. This is definitely going to put us at odds because we're not going to know what part of us to trust. The gut reaction, the intuition, the insights that don't make any sense to us in our physical realms, or the tangible, practical, logical indications in our physical realms that might not lead us to the same kind of outcome or understanding that relying on our intuition would. The moon is going to bump into Uranus. Again, a lot of electricity coming into the cosmos this week. We do have Uranian energy now direct, providing us with a little bit of a breakthrough, a little bit of a insight on what it is that we have to change in our physical realms, where our self-worth, our self-value, our routines, our relationships, our money matters are concerned. The moon in Virgo bumping into Uranus in Taurus in this way is definitely looking at the finer details of our habits, of our actions, of our behaviors. We recognize that there is a huge transformation going on right now, a huge shift in a brand new direction, and that is going to require us to tweak the way that we move throughout our day-to-day. The moon is going to trine Pluto, and this is definitely a positive energy, a good energy for us to realize where these transformations are actually taking place. Where are they taking place? First of all, they're taking place in our psyche. We're having some huge, profound insights, some aha moments. Things are clicking. We're connecting the dots to the reason why we had to go through certain pains and struggles in the past in order to prepare us for the rewards, the blessings, and the next chapters that we're currently awaiting to walk into. That understanding that we currently have, this new perspective that we currently have, is rewriting the way that we actually feel about some of the situations that have transpired. And when we have that shift in our psyche and in our heart space, that changes our overall vibration and frequency that we can now go ahead and kind of put out into the world in our physical realms. So there's definitely a boss up happening here, an emotional and psychological transformation that is putting us in a situation of power and authority to take control over our lives and to continue to push forward. Now, the moon is going to square Mars. This is going to create a little bit of a conflict. And here's the reason why. we're at odds with our physical energy. There's so much changing. There's so many elements that are transforming in our physical realms. And of course, we have Mars over here ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire. He is also exuding a little bit of frustration and anger because he hasn't been able to kind of take the kind of physical actions that he would have wanted to in our physical realms. He's in Sag energy, wrapping up these particular life lessons before he moves into Capricorn on the 24th. So he's on a quest to align with a higher meaning, a higher purpose. He only wants to take action right now if it's going to lead us towards a new truth, a new goal that is more inspired by the spiritual lessons in which we just had, in which we just learned. But the moon in Virgo, again, wants us to stay in this moment and make peace and make order out of the chaos that has already taken place. The moon in Virgo would rather us get a grip emotionally before we even think about taking any physical actions in our physical realm to push ourselves forward on this brand new path. So we are going to feel a little bit restless, maybe even angry, maybe even frustrated, because the moon in Virgo wants us to organize the here and now, and Mars wants us to say, screw the here and now, let's push forward so that we can make a path in the future for ourselves. The moon is going to trine the true note, and this is a beautiful energy for us to be thinking a little bit more futuristically about the goals and the dreams that we're looking to actually manifest, and break that down into smaller, more manageable pieces. So that true node that is now in this Taurus and Scorpio axis is focused on building, creating, giving birth to a new foundation in our lives to support new routines, new habits, new relationship dynamics, the energy exchanges that we have with the people that we care about. We are focused on bringing out new skill sets, new talents in order to create an income so that we can become a little bit more independent and self-sufficient. So the moon in Virgo, who likes to be very precise and focus in on the smaller details, this trine, this blending of energies is allowing us to kind of grasp a bigger, greater, grander vision of what it is that we want to see happen in the future and help us break it down so that we can actually do something to align with the end result. Now, the moon is going to bump into Saturn, and this is an aspect that's really going to highlight for us the long-term foundations that we actually need to be building in the here and now in order to honor our previous commitments, our roles and responsibilities to other people, but also push the boundaries of what those roles and responsibilities actually look like. So for many of us, we've been feeling trapped in some of the responsibilities that we've had. We've noticed the weight that we carry on our shoulders because of it. So now we're looking to push the boundaries of how we can still show up, still honor our commitments, but do it in a way that doesn't feel so heavy and doesn't feel so weighted. The moon is going to trine the sun. And at this particular point in time, the moon is now in Libra. So we're looking for peace. We're looking for harmony. We're looking to balance the scales. We're looking to make peace between our heart and our head. And we're looking to kind of get out of the weighted energy that moon in Virgo provided us with and lighten the mood a little bit. So the moon trines the sun. We have the sun in Aquarius, which is an air sign, helping us to think long-term about the bigger, brighter possibilities of our future. And we have the moon now in Libra saying, okay, no, this looks good. This looks bright. Let's see where we can kind of compromise with some of the ideas, some of the dreams that we have been having. But now, of course, with new information coming to light, we have to tweak our plans. So the sun is illuminating for us where it is that we have to free ourselves from some of the social responsibilities, roles that we've had, commitments that we've made. We've recognized through Capricorn season what is holding us back. And now the sun the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Libra is showing us where it is that we need to find balance, where it is that we can free ourselves without totally cutting the cord with some of these roles and responsibilities, and where it is that maybe we can just think outside of the box and come up with a brand new aha moment on how it is that we're going to proceed forward. The moon is going to trine Mercury. Again, another beautiful air energy. Mercury, of course, is retrograde in Aquarian energy. The moon is in air energy in Libra. And this is definitely going to put us in a very good situation for us to balance our wants, needs, and desires, especially where our emotions are concerned. We're getting our heart and our head back on the same page. We're recognizing where it is that they kind of busted away and got divided from one another because of the events that had transpired over the last couple of weeks. And now we're seeing where it is that we can actually take our power back by having these aha moments, connecting the dots on why these situations had to happen in order for us to be in this particular position to plan for the future. So this is a lot of intellectual thought, a lot of logic, a lot of practicality going on in our mental plane, but also our heart space is wide open because we've been down in the depths of the darkness. We want nothing more than to see the light. And so having these inner conversations with ourselves between our heart and our head is providing us with a little bit of balance. And what do we have when we bridge the gap between our heart and our head? We have a throat activation, a throat chakra activation where we get to speak our truth, where we get to have a conversation, where we get to share what it is that we're now realizing within ourselves, and where it is that we can have these conversations with the people that we need to have them with the most. There's a lot of heart healing, there's a lot of head healing, and of course, that means that we have to speak from our own heart space, speaking our own new truth.